It's a real honor that Bart asked me to be here today. Like he said, I've known him, practically my whole life, and he's really watched me grow up and grow my career. And so when he asked me to come out today, he asked me to tell you guys, kind of how I got to where I got today, which I run sales worldwide for a telecommunications company here in Arizona. He asked me kind of talk about what sales has afforded me and some of the attributes I've seen in good salespeople. So just kind of telling you guys how I got here. Like Bart said, and like a lot of people I'm sure in the audience, when I was graduating at college and I went to Arizona State University, I was looking for a career. The last thing I really wanted to do was be in sales. And it wasn't really that, I had a bad taste for salespeople because I grew up with my dad, who was a great sales guy and a great guy. And so I had a really good thought about salespeople. But I personally didn't want to, do what my dad did. I wanted to do something different. And like a lot of kids, they don't want to follow in their father's footsteps or mother's or whoever. So, and the other thing I wanted to do was make a lot of money right out of college. So I started reading a lot of articles about these young late 20s, early 30s kids that were doing investment banking and making a lot of money. So that was what I really wanted to do. So really first starting out of college, I went and started looking for a career in investment banking, and I had to really learn how to sell myself at that time, and that kind of started making me realize that everything in life is sales. You're always selling yourself, you're selling your idea, you're selling every day what you want to do that day. And I really worked on putting a pitch together, why they should hire me, why I was the right guy for the job, even though maybe my credentials weren't the best. And through the process, I did land a job with a boutique investment bank here in the Valley. And pretty soon after I got in there, I started noticing that in the companies that we worked with, in the investment bank itself, and even with the law firms and the CPA firms that we worked with all the time, the guys that were always the top guys there, the guys that got paid the most money, that were the most important, that really controlled the firms, weren't necessarily the guys that were the best lawyers or the best bankers or the best auditors. They were what they called the rainmakers. And that was just a really fancy way of saying the best sales guys, the guys that were the whale hunters that could go pull down the big deals. And they seemed like the young guys that were all the way at the top already, were always the guys that were pulling the big deals. And so when I started looking at that, I started really getting more and more interested in sales and saying, this is really the path, no matter what industry I'm in. The way you get to the top the quickest is by being a good salesperson. I think it's really because you can differentiate yourself there. You can really show when you're good at it, it really stands out, whereas in a lot of other places, you got to just kind of grind it out and work your way up the corporate ladder. But if you're a good salesperson, it shows right away and you'll quickly move up. So I really started getting much more interested in sales at that time. And one of my clients at the time was a telecommunications company I'm with today. And I started talking to the CEO, who's also built this big company based around his abilities to sell and his idea and his ability to sell. That's really what his background was sales. So I started telling him about how I really was interested in selling, and be interested in making a career change and learning more about it. So he convinced me to come over and work for him. And at the time, we were about a $25 million company. And he asked me to really work closely with him, revamp our sales force, kind of change the way we sold, really look for maybe more aggressive people, more people that were really had a different thought, maybe not such old school mindset on selling, but people that wanted to do something different, wanted to really grow. And we went around and hired a whole new sales force. That was in 2006. This last year we did a little over 70 million, so we've grown a lot even in a down economy. Through that process, I learned a lot about selling. I've had a lot of good mentors, and as well as just really being out there and meeting people. And it's afforded me, a great lifestyle. It's afforded me the ability to meet a lot of very important people that I wouldn't have met otherwise at a very young age. A lot of people high up in big companies. It's afforded me the ability to fly all over the world. I've been on sales calls throughout Europe, Asia, the United States. So I've got to have a lot of amazing stuff that I don't think you get in a lot of other positions. So I think on that part, sales really allows you to differentiate yourself and build a career a lot quicker than you can in a lot of other areas. And like Bart said, I think every organization is always looking for good salespeople. I think in our organization alone, as I said, we went out and hired a lot of good salespeople, but also paid a lot of people a lot of money that weren't necessarily the good salespeople. And I think there's opportunity for great salespeople in any company. I think I have 15 salespeople that work for me today throughout the world, and every single one of those guys makes a six-figure salary. And some of them because they're really good, and some of them, as Bart mentioned, just because they are, or they know somebody. But those people are the ones that end up getting weeded out and don't rise to the ranks. So, as far as what I really think, in my experience makes a really good salesperson, the first thing to me is somebody that's confident. And I think when you are really confident in yourself, confident in what you're selling, confident in your abilities, you can sell just about anything to anybody. And I think, that's where I really thought the Rubicon idea was an amazing idea. Being out there every day and seeing a lot of salespeople that aren't confident in their abilities, aren't confident in who they are, aren't confident in what they're selling, and they don't ever succeed. So when Bart started first learning about Rubicon, I thought it was a great idea. It really give you that confidence right off the bat, to go right in, be comfortable in the sales setting, and really deliver right off the bat instead of maybe not having trouble at the beginning and giving up before you can really get a chance. And the other thing that I really see in great salespeople is really motivated people, people that are hungry, people that want to succeed. And I think the people that came out today really shows that you must have hunger there. I think it's amazing that people came out and are interested because it shows that you are really hungry. I think if you take that hunger and really, take it to the next level with Rubicon, the opportunities are endless. And definitely, if you take the event, love to come see you afterwards because we're always looking for